In other news now, in a move to immediately clamp down on cow vigilantism, the Supreme Court has sent out a stern message and asking each state to appoint a senior police officer in each district as nodal officer to take action against cow vigilantism. This is the first direction here that's coming from the Supreme Court for action on ground. It has now issued a notice to the centre on this as well, seeking a reply in 4 weeks' time. This follows a fresh PIL that was put in on increasing number of cases related to cow vigilantism. This being a clear sign that protection would be provided in a clear sign of keeping a check on ground as far as cow vigilantism cases there are concerned. Remember, the Supreme Court earlier had also put forth notices to several state governments where these cases of cow vigilantism were reported. Several state governments, some having replied, some keeping mum. But this being in yet another fresh PIL that was put in the Supreme Court now deciding to immediately clamp down on cow vigilantism and the violence on ground, in giving no choice now to the state, in clearly instructing the state now, each state, to appoint a senior police officer in each district as a nodal officer to take action against cow vigilantism. We have with us our senior correspondent Meenakshi getting us further inputs here on this. Meenakshi, help us understand, has the Supreme Court set aside a deadline for this?
Well, you know, the very fact that the Supreme Court has shown such alacrity and has come out with such terse oral observations is enough to showcase the intention of the top court in cracking down on these growing instances of cow vigilantism. And I'm quoting, the top court was of the opinion that it cannot allow any vigilantes to take law and order in their own hands. Now, what is very interesting about today's proceeding is the fact, like you were rightly pointing out, there is a specific order. Thus far, the hearings on other PILs that we have seen before the Supreme Court have perhaps not yielded as much result, because somewhere the Supreme Court was also giving time to the state governments and to the central government itself to synchronize amongst each other their tasks better. Clearly that has not happened, and therefore today the specific direction, which assumes a lot of importance, and I'll quickly explain why, is because the Supreme Court has ordered for a police officer, a senior police officer, to be appointed as the nodal officer in charge who will receive and address the complaints pertaining to vigilantism. And not just that, essentially what has transpired today is that several states of the Indian Union, states like Rajasthan, Haryana, Maharashtra and Gujarat, have accepted in Supreme Court that they will appoint such nodal police officers who will be cracking down.
Okay, Meenakshi, very quickly, is this a direction only to those states where cases of cow vigilantism have been reported, or is this a direction across the country to all states?
This is a direction which has bearing across the country, and like I was quickly narrating to you, the states of Rajasthan, Haryana, Maharashtra, Gujarat have today accepted before the Supreme Court that they will fall in line and appoint immediately these senior police officers who will be the nodal officers in charge to accept complaints and redress the grievances of people who are affected by cow vigilantism. Back to you.